Hello and welcome to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, where we connect with Troy Chamber members as they give us a glimpse into their company and share some of the business lessons they've learned along the way. Hi, everyone. I'm Tara Thompson-Cusack, President and CEO of the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined today by the amazing co-host and Vice President of the Chamber, Sheila Dunstead.
Good morning, everyone.
First, I'd like to take a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned for our very first commercial break where you can learn how you can rely on Trion. Sheila, we got a great guest coming up, so why don't you give us a good little introduction who we're meeting with?
Oh, I'm very excited to do this. Today, we are meeting with Tom Dluzen.
Yes, Dluzen. Thank you.
Got it right.
Good job.
President and CEO of Chief Financial Credit Union, a medium-sized credit union headquartered here in Southeast Michigan since 2010. Tom brings with him an impressive array of experience to draw upon that includes CFO, bank loan reviews and audits, commercial lending, business lending, consumer lending, lots of lending, loan participation, loan sales, strategic planning, cash management, and as an entrepreneur and a business owner. While honored to have lived these experiences, he's equally as proud of how his work ethic was formed, working on the family farm, as well as his first paid job working on a truck farm, planting and harvesting vegetables, which I'm looking forward to digging into deeper. Get it? Digging?
Dig it in. I get it. That's good.
I like that.
Funny.
Well done.
Love it.
As president and CEO, he orchestrated an impressive turnaround that brought Chief Financial from the brink of failure in 2010 to one of the top 2% safest credit unions in the country just 5 years later, which is very important right now. In addition, the financial institution has become a top performer both in asset and loan growth. This is the second turnaround success story achieved by Tom, who previously sharpened his leadership skills as a CEO of a small, struggling credit union that doubled in asset size and ultimately was a top-tier performer. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
Wow, I will say, when you have a resume that long, it's actually worth reading. So that's a good
absolutely.
sign. But Tom, obviously, I've got to start. Obviously, you know I've been a big fan of you guys and everyone at Chief Financial Credit Union.
Thank you.
But I just want to see where did this start? Tell me what were you farming as a fan? I mean, give me some gist on your background.
First of all, it's going to be a challenge to try to match your energy level here. So I'm going to try to do that.
Good luck.
Well, I actually grew up in a farming community, and those were about the only jobs available.
Where were you? Whereabouts?
It was in Ida, Petersburg area, down in Monroe County.
Okay.
So, yeah, there was a truck farmer, a nice Polish guy, that we'd go out and pick peppers and throw tomatoes at each other, things like that. So I tried to join the Future Farmers of America, and they wouldn't let me. It's like, can't do it. So go into banking, I guess, is what I had to do.
Well, they must have known your future before you did at that
Right.
point.
Yeah, I'm being facetious, but yeah, everyone was, all the kids worked at farms during those times. So it does give you a work ethic for sure.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Well, and it's one of those things too. I think farming is one of those industries that we don't give enough respect to. And I think all the hard work and effort, it does translate. So mind you said you did that's what all the kids did, but this is such a profession that's so needed. And it is the
much.
hard work of America that we're seeing move forward.
And it's unfortunate with the small farms, a lot of them went away because of the bigger operations. It used to be someone could make a living on 100 acres. Now they can't do it anymore. So a lot of those farms are gone. So it's kind of sad, but it's the way of the world.
Yeah, well, speaking of good things, though, let's transition. Let's talk about credit unions. So a lot of people have misconstrued thoughts on credit unions. A lot of people don't really understand credit unions. Can you tell us a little bit about the value of being a member of a credit union?
Yeah, well, that's a good question because it is a little bit confusing because we do a lot of the same things.
As farming? No, I'm just teasing.
Farm loans, maybe. Checking account, savings account, business loans, individual loans, on and on. We have the same products, but the big difference is that we're structured differently. The banks have stockholders. The stockholders own the bank. A credit union is owned by their members. So if you become a member, you're an owner. And what's great about that is banks have to turn their profits over in a way. I mean, it's more complicated than that to the stockholders. But as a member, those profits go back to the individual person. And that's by way of better loan rates and savings rates and things like that.
Great CD rates I've seen.
CD rates, yes. Exactly. Lately it's been better. And the other part is that we're tax exempt. So picture you not having to pay taxes. So, you're going to have a lot more income. Well, that revenue goes back to our members as well. So that's why it really is better. I mean, I love people in the banking industry. I have a lot of friends there. I have, roots in banking, but just the way it's structured and that you're better off as a consumer to go to a credit union.
I didn't know about the tax exempt piece. That's really interesting in itself. When you put it that way, it makes a lot more sense that you can provide more output.
Exactly. And there's some limitations to growth. We can't sell stock to raise equity. So, most credit unions remain fairly small. There are some real big ones, but I think if you add up all the credit unions in the whole country, it's not even close to one of the big banks. So, small, local, community-based. So
Love it.
I think you hit on something right there with it being community-based. I love going into the branches. It's so much fun. You feel like you're talking with friends, and you are.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, I think most credit unions are kind of the same way we operate. We try to keep it casual and fun. And, as a leader, I've always believed that you're more productive when you can have a little bit of fun. I mean, there are limitations to how much fun you should have, but you can do well.
Well, speaking of Chief, you guys specifically invest in properties, purchasing the buildings instead of leasing them, as we've seen with the beautiful, beautiful new building in downtown Rochester and the new branch here in Troy. Why is that? What benefit does it give to your members and to the team?
Well, the biggest benefit, there are several. I mean, number one, you have an asset. You're not just paying the landlord. And we did experience in the past leasing a building, and you really don't have control of your destiny because in that particular case, the owner wanted to develop the property, so we had to find a new location. So you really don't have that much control, and it's just better overall in that respect. And we don't have a problem getting the money for some reason. We just open the vault and there it is. Just take a wheelbarrow out and got enough money.
I hope that's not how credit unions work in this moment, but that's great.
I was going to say, what time do you do that?
Yeah, just bring a pick, shovel.
We'll all be there to help clean.
There you go.
That'd be a great idea. Well, everybody, this sounds like a great time to take a quick commercial break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Trion and its team of attorneys. Trion can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Trion, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTrion.com.
You can always rely on Trion.
Welcome back to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. We're here with Tom from Chief Financial Credit Union. So, Tom, speaking of buildings, you made a new investment in the opening of a new branch in Troy. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this amazing, gorgeous place?
Oh, my gosh. We are so excited about the building in Troy. I mean, we have actually been looking for a building in Troy for years. I mean, it's just hard to find a retail type building that works for a bank. And we've been a member of the Troy Chamber for 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. So
you know how to pick good chambers, too.
We do,
it's really
right?
great.
The best chamber in Michigan, by far. And we're members of a lot of them, aren't we? Don't tell the others I said that.
I mean, it's
No one will hear it.
It's not public at all. It's great.
But that was by design. We had planned on moving to Troy. I mean, we have a branch in Dearborn, so it was kind of natural to kind of head in that direction. Yeah. And when this building came up, it was just ideal. And, just a little bit of background as far as, how we ended up with the industrial design that we have is it's the way our credit union started as a credit union for the automotive industry. Ooh. So the story goes is that the credit union started, virtually with the money in a toolbox on the shop floor. So that was kind of the whole theme is we want it to look like a shop floor. And anyone listening, you just need to come and see the building.
Yeah. It's amazing. You literally walk in. It has that industrial feel. It's also really warm and welcoming, which is a weird thing to have when you have that kind of industrial look.
Yeah, and I live fairly close by, so I like to spend days at that branch sometimes. I mean, just because it's so nice. And there's also a meeting space there. We call it the gathering space, right? And that's available for the public. So if you go on our website, you can go in and sign up for an event that you might want to have there, meetings, things like that.
Or just a space for us to take a break.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Right? There are some breakout offices. So if you want to, truly, if you want to come in.
You're tempting me. Don't
Have
you
some
worry.
free coffee, all that. Talk to the girls. It's great.
I love
Well,
it.
I thought we were coming by at the time you moved the money around.
Oh,
We had that
yeah.
discussion earlier.
Yeah. Digging.
Digging.
Yeah, that's on Tuesday morning, I think, in Troy. So.
All right, perfect.
You're sharing a lot of this really good info here.
Hey, Tara, guess what? I think it's time for Did You Know?
Ooh, I think this is a wonderful time to learn something new about the Troy Chamber. So what are you going to teach us?
Well, did you guys know that the Troy Chamber offers ribbon cuttings? Not only do we have the giant scissors, we have ribbon too. And we can invite fellow members, board members, local dignitaries, and more to attend your event. We do it on Facebook Live, and we can do it at your time, at your convenience, at your new location. And speaking of ribbon cuttings, and speaking of Troy, Tom, I remember a little event at your new Troy branch. Would you like to chat about that?
Yeah, I mean, I have to give the Troy Chamber credit. I mean, we had so many people there. It was shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, when someone wanted to turn left, everybody said, all right, turn left. And then turn left at the same time. It was so crowded. And it was a great event. I mean, we had a good turnout. And, everything you guys did to bring people in there, it was very much appreciated. So it was a great event. I mean, those giant scissors. The mayor told me, make sure you don't cut yourself.
I know. Well, safety first.
Safety first.
Safety
right?
first. Well, and I think it's the ceremonial piece of opening a business I find to be so important because it's a reflection of the community. So yes, it may be just a ribbon cutting, like, oh, I'm just cutting the ribbon. But it's more than that. It's about celebrating the expansion. It's about celebrating growth. It's about celebrating being a part of the community. And I think that was so fun because you saw smiles on all of your employees' faces. Like you could feel a really great environment.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement. I met some great people that night that I hadn't met before. And every time we did a ribbon cutting, it's so memorable. I mean, it's unforgettable. You always think about those times when you walk in the branch. So
Well, you had puppies. Lots of puppies. It was so fun.
I got tongue-tied about it. I was like, puppy. You just-
yeah, so Leader Dog for the Blind brought some puppies in. And just a little side story real quick is one of my managers, I won't say who, probably shouldn't, but she's afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
So I was watching.
Yes.
So if you watch her, she was strategically moving away from the puppies.
But these are such well-trained puppies.
They are,
But
yeah.
I know you can't change fear. So.
Right.
Well, speaking of that, obviously you guys are very committed to philanthropy. And I think that's what makes you guys stand out as well. I see you guys always giving back to the community, always being a part of the community. Can you tell me a little bit about why Chief is focused around being so giving and so philanthropic within our communities?
Well, I think I'll just start by saying, it's really hard to justify an investment like that. But it just seems to come back to you over time. And just kind of how we got there, you kind of touched on it. The credit union was in trouble after the last meltdown, and we had a lot of work to do. So you're focusing all of your time, 50, 60 hours a day, trying to get things straightened out. When we finally moved our headquarters to Rochester Hills, I sat down one day and said, well, okay, we're doing well. Now what are we doing about it?
Yeah.
So that was really, truly kind of a defining moment where we decided, listen, we're going to be part of this community, the communities that we're in. And everybody, all my managers were behind it, stepped in. And once you start volunteering for things like that, you just love it. It's in your blood now. So, people say that. I love hearing it. Chief is everywhere. Everywhere you go, I see
really
you guys.
are. You are. You are.
Thanks for saying that.
Well, you know what else we always hear? Your team, like Ashley, Jen, and Cheryl, they're always talking about what an amazing, great leader you are. In fact, you were even nominated for the TC Business Excellence Awards for leadership. Tell us more about your leadership style, your skills. What sets you apart as a great leader?
I'm a little bit bitter I didn't win.
Aw, it's okay.
Just kidding.
You had really good competition, though. And
I did.
again,
Yes.
you really
Yes.
can't complain about that.
No, I'm just kidding. It was just nice to be nominated for sure. Honestly, my management style is really fully collaborative. I mean, and I don't know if it's coincidental or not, but my entire management team are women. So,
No, it's not coincidence.
they're all hard workers and very, very proud. Virtually every one of them came up through the system too. So, at our place, if you work hard and do well, you move up. And there are a lot of stories that we don't have time to go into here, where people have become successful there. And that's what it's about. It's about collaboration. Honestly, was it you I was talking to the ribbon cutting? In a way, you have to let people fail. Give them the
Mm-hmm.
chance to fail a little bit. I mean, not too far down the road, but, but to make their own mistakes and learn from it.
Mistakes are different than failures.
Right.
And I think
Yeah,
that's the growth moments too.
Exactly. And it's a matter of trust. I trust my managers
Mm-hmm.
100%. So
You have a great team.
thank you so much.
You do.
I will say, I think one thing that stands out too is I think they all care. And you don't see, I mean, you see that people care, but there's a different level of care from your group because each one of them cares not just about the company. And I love the fact that every single one of your employees can articulate exactly what Chief does. But they actually care about listening. And I think that's a special skill that as I'm looking at Jen and Ashley and Cheryl and your whole team, they really genuinely care about the other person, about the other person's company, about what they need in life. And I find that so admirable. And I do see that in you as well. So it's a great reflection.
Well, I mean, interesting that you brought that up because I had someone walk up to me and talk to me about new banks and credit unions coming into the community.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're trying to emulate what we do. They're almost taking the exact same steps, but that's the difference. It's just they're just doing it. It's not the sincerity. It doesn't come from the heart. Mm-hmm. And I had a member of the community tell me that was obvious that was the case. So,
well, and we can see when people fake it to make it.
Oh, I like that.
We know that stuff, but it is nice because we definitely see the trust. And I think that's what elevates. I mean, if you're leading with that same trust and that same care, they're doing it as well. So you're seeing it through every employee all the way from top to bottom. And I don't like to say top to bottom on that aspect because I think everyone has a special role. Mm-hmm. And it's a great company. So we're really grateful for you guys.
Thank you so much.
So, well, do you have anything else that you'd like to share with us before we wrap up?
Oh, I don't know. Should I do a commercial? Probably not.
No.
Thanks, Jay.
I was going to say, you know, I am a member and I love it. And one of the reasons I did become a member was because of your team. Mm-hmm. I had an opportunity to sit down and talk with Ashley, and I had no idea what a credit union was or was all about. And I sat down and she explained it. And again, as Tara hit upon, it was the warmth of your team too that brought us over. So I appreciate all you guys do.
Well, thank you very much. And that is what it's about. You know, it's nice to walk into a place where someone knows your name. Is that the TV show?
Like
Right, to walk in and they do know you. They'll call you by name. And, you know, if you're comfortable talking about your life, they'll listen to you and become your friend in a way, right? So
very much.
Well, now that I know Sheila's an owner, I'm just saying, yeah. What are you going to do?
Now you have some pull. You have an owner right here.
This is even better. So perfect. Well, guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Tom, it's been wonderful getting to know you and learn a little bit more about Chief Financial Credit Union. Guys, if you are interested in joining the Troy Chamber, go to troychamber.com. But that's all we have here today for Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.